So this particular module is titled Tiered Commission Plans at eBay. And the idea here is that, let's say you run your own website and you do okay business, but you're not doing Amazon level business, and you want to make a little bit more money. Well, you can become what's called an affiliate for a larger website to drive traffic to them. So like, let's say, you have 100 visitors a week, and some of them end up using your links on your page to go to Amazon and buying something. Amazon will give you a cut of that, almost like a commission for helping them make that sale. And we're going to be looking at eBay, which at one point had a program that paid commission based on active, confirmed, registered eBay users. In other words, they went from your site to eBay, and they registered and potentially bought something, and that's what we're interested in. And so for as shorthand, we're going to call these things ACRUs. In other words, you get paid based on how many ACRUs that you generate from your website. And the structure of that payment is very similar to what we did last module, where it's broken up into tiers, and the higher that you go, the more you get paid, kind of like tax rates. So, for example, let's say you end up generating 52 of these ACRUs. Well, these first 49 ACRUs you generate, you're going to get paid $2.47 for each one of those. But if you had 52 total, then the remaining three, so the 50th person, the 51st, and the 52nd person, you're going to get paid $3.99 for those people. So you're using both of these numbers, just like in the tax rate. How it was like the first 9,000 was at one rate, but then all the dollars above 9,000 was the second rate. And so this is extremely similar to what we did in the last module, but there's no like deductions. It just goes straight into the payment. So it's a little simpler in that case, but there is one little difference I'm going to point out in a second. So what else is new? I think that's all I wanted to mention about the workbook. One slightly different thing about this module is I will not be showing you my spreadsheet at any point. And the reason why is every single calculator you're building is very similar to something you've done in the last module. So this is kind of a chance for you to practice some of like the organizational stuff, as opposed to seeing mine and then just, doing whatever I did. However, saying that, because it's so similar to last module, if you found a good way to organize your thoughts last module, that organization is going to work here as well. So you can just carry that forward and do that again. So what is our goal today? Well, if you haven't done so already, obviously download the spreadsheet and the PDF. But our primary goal is to build a calculator that deals with this little set of ACRUs and how much you get paid. That is our primary goal today. Like I said, it's very similar to last time with one slight difference. Notice here how each of the upper bounds, like it goes 0 to 49, but the next one doesn't start at 49. Kind of like it did with tax rates. So with tax rates, those were dollars. So if we said, okay, the first 25,000 is this rate, and then the next one started at 25,000 because that very next penny was going to be in the next one. Well, these are essentially humans. So we don't have fractional amounts of humans that we're generating. And so, once we say, okay, the first 49 people here, the next one starts at that 50th person. So because of this change from fractions to whole numbers, and the fact that this upper bound doesn't equal the next lower bound, when you're programming this, it's going to require one slight modification, and you'll probably see it as you go, because if you use the exact same thing you did last time, you're going to be off by one, right? Here's a quick example. In that case where I said there's 52 people, well, if there's 52 people total, how many are in the second row? It is not 52 minus the lower bound. 52 minus 50 is 2. but it's the 50th person, 51st, and the 52nd. That's 3 people. So you're going to have to modify it just a little bit, just to be aware that you'll be off by 1 if you do the exact same thing you did. There's also a second calculator that happens in part 1, but you can literally just copy paste your first calculator and change some of the values, so that's nice. And like I mentioned earlier, the exam is Tuesday, which is very fast. So if you have time, trying part 2 early isn't a bad idea. That'll give you more time to ask questions on Monday and spend more time prepping for the exam as opposed to starting part 2. And part 2 isn't actually that awful. It's mainly analyzing some graphs and stuff. It's not actually building some giant calculator. Most of the building will be done today.